How you guys doing? This is 514 Mystic from BookieBullies.com. And as you can tell, I'm wearing an Expos fitted. Unfortunately, I took that L yesterday, but the Washington Nationals actually won their first playoff berth since moving from the Montreal area to the Washington area. I hope they lose. I hope they don't do very good. And that's just my personal feelings because they got stripped away from me. A childhood team of mine used to go to those games and watch games and get hot dogs. At one point, you could get free games. Like me, I'm still young, so at that point, you could get free games. At the time at the Big O. Anyways, all that aside, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show. This is breaking down the books, and today we got a long slate of NHL games. Again, yesterday I gave you guys two picks. It was a short slate of NHL games, so I gave you guys one pick, which did not hit. That was the under, sorry, in the Montreal game, which was also a dangerous pick. We all know that, it was basically set to go over from far. The under was paying a shit ton of money, and I also gave you guys the Dodgers to win, which they couldn't do for us. Obviously, this is why I'm wearing the cap today. Today we got a long slate, about 11 games of the NHL. I haven't got a chance to cap it in depth to take down my notes and stuff, so I'm going to be going down the board with you guys as I go along, and that's pretty much it. I had a few leans yesterday, which ended up hitting, but the leans don't actually matter. What really matters are the picks, if they hit and did we win. And as of yesterday, it wasn't a very good day. Went 0 of 2. First time we actually lost every single pick. These things happen, but it's about rolling with the punches. And this is why I always say do not bet what you can't afford to lose, because it's very important to manage your bankroll to a point where you're actually not a total loser every time you lose, and if you're actually a winner every time you win. So if you've been capping with me and you've been following this strategy, which is not to bet what you can't afford to lose, then you still have funds today to bet for tomorrow, and you're not totally down from your earnings. Remember, we went perfect on opening night, had a few winners since then, so you should still be in the money if you're doing this right. So starting off from the top of what I see over here, I got the Montreal Canadiens versus the Detroit Red Wings. So the Red Wings got Bernier at net, and Montreal in their home opener got Carey Price at net. They should have played him yesterday. I think it was a mistake on their part, but it is what it is. I think Montreal is going to want to get as many wins as possible as early as possible. But it might have been a strategic thing because they got Tampa coming in a few days. But we're going to get to that when that time comes. So Montreal versus Detroit. Detroit is actually doing not so bad. Um, they're 2-1 on the season. Montreal's actually 1-0-2. They actually went to a couple. I think every single game pretty much went to shootout, at the exception of yesterday, and that's pretty much how it goes for them. Actually, yesterday also that game went to OT. So basically, every game that Montreal played has gone to overtime or shootout. If I had to give a pick in this game, I'm gonna lean towards the under. And I know the world is on the over. I'm not an under better by any chance, by no means. Am I an under better or an over better? I just like to bet where the money is at. I like to bet on things that I find have value. And I think today the Montreal Canadiens try to do a better job at defending their goalie, at protecting the net. And with Carey Price at net getting $10 million a season, I think it's gonna be a good bet for me to actually bet on Montreal to win, not to win, sorry, for the under. Detroit hasn't allowed too many goals, although they have, um, as of late. So basically, it hasn't been too bad on their end as far as it goes. But the last time they played versus the Ducks. It was 3-1, but they had Jimmy Howard at net. Bernier also won his game in his first start. So I like the matchup here. We got a 3 goal against average, which is 8.64 save percentage. Not so hot. Carey Price has a 3.69 goal against average with a 900 or 90% save percent average. These numbers don't add up to what I'm telling you as far as the under, but the under is a 6.5. So if you could get it someplace 6.0, in some places, if you could get it at 6.5, I like the under at 6.5. It's not a 5.5 under, it's a 6.5 under. So keep that in mind. I actually like the under in that game, and that's going to be my first official play moving forward. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we got the Big Cat Vasilevsky versus Freddie Anderson. I don't think Freddie Anderson is that nice. There's a big hype behind him and all of that, and I don't think he's that good. I don't have a play in this game whether it's the over, the under, or anything like that. I lean towards the under. The whole world is on the over. Do you think it's going to be a fast-paced game, a score this and a score there? It's going to be a back-to-back. I honestly don't see it. I don't think either of these teams have been playing to their potential, and I don't want to put my money where there's no consistency. There's been no show of force or show of dominance for either of these teams. Tampa is what, 2-2 on the season. They haven't won a road game yet, or are they actually 1-0? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you this right this instant because, like I said, I didn't get a chance to cap it before doing the show. I'm capping it with you guys so that I'm in time for the 7 o'clock. So yeah, Tampa Bay is actually 1-1 on the season. Not so good. Toronto's 2-1 on the season. Not so hot either. Now Tampa Bay, they're actually going to be on an East Coast road trip, which they do every year. They come to Canada. They face Toronto. They face Ottawa. They face Montreal. And me, from my recollection, I know that they don't do good on these trips. They typically lose 2 of 3 of these trips. And you guys could go and check this on your own time. This is just like a registered stat in my head. I know Tampa Bay comes to town and they don't win. Like, they find ways to lose versus these 3 teams, the Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa. It's just like the closest cities to, like, basically in that area, at the exception of maybe Calgary, Edmonton, things like that. But anyways, Toronto is 3.5, 4 hours away from Ottawa. Ottawa is about 2.5 hours away from Montreal. They do this trip, they typically lose. I would lean Toronto, but their favorite, I don't like them favored. I'd rather Vasilevsky's chances, but I'm gonna skip this game altogether and not give a pick at all. If I had to give a pick, it would be the under. Don't listen to me. I'm just giving you what I believe, what I think is gonna happen. But just like I said, don't listen. It's 7.0. Like, if you could get the under at some places, it's 7.0. Me, I'll probably put my money on it, just sprinkle a little change, so maybe I can make a little profit on my own time. But I wouldn't suggest putting any money on these things. None of them have shown any consistency, any backbone. They haven't shown what they are, what their team is gonna do. And Stamkos just recently ripped into his teammates. Now we have all kind of talks in Toronto about how Mike Babcock might not be the best option for the Toronto this Maple Leafs team, and they might not be the best. He might not be the best suited to take them to the promised land. All this nonsense. I don't want any parts of it. I don't. I just don't. I'm skipping over this game. Next game, we got EDM versus New Jersey. So we got the Oilers versus the Devils. We got Koskinen at net for EDM. We got Blackwood at net for the Devils. I'm skipping this game. I don't like what's going on here. We got a 1-0 Koskinen versus a 0-1 Blackwood. I don't like either of these goalies. I don't like either of these teams. I think Jersey should probably pull off a victory here, but why? They haven't won a game yet. They're favorite, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna skip over this game. Now, just because we have 11 games doesn't mean you have to bet on all 11 games. Side note. And while I'm here, I want to encourage you guys to smash that like button at the bottom, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it. But again, you don't have to bet on every single game just because it's available. Some games are traps. Some games are there just to make you think, oh, well, these guys are garbage. Maybe I should bet against them. No. Some games you just stay away from, live to fight another day, find some better value elsewhere. Moving on, we got the Anaheim Ducks versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. We got Pittsburgh favored at a -140 versus the Ducks. We got the Ducks who have Gibson at net, and for Pittsburgh we got Matt Murray at net. I like the under in this game because we got the 2 solid goalies at the helm. Gibson, the solid goalie for Anaheim, who's been allowing just under 1 goal a game. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 1 goal that he's been allowing per game. It's 1 goal against average exactly, with a 97% save percentage average. And we got Matt Murray, who we all know what he does. Although, again, a little bit injury prone, but like that's not his fault. It's health concerns and all that other stuff. When he's healthy, he's awesome. But again, you're dealing with a Pittsburgh team who's facing with a lot of injuries and all of that. Give me the under in this game. I don't have a side. We're gonna move forward. So if you guys are following so far, we have the under in the Montreal game. We have no pick in the Tampa, no pick in EDM, and the under in Pittsburgh. So far we got 2 unders. Now we're moving on to the St. Louis Blues against the Ottawa Senators. The Blues got Jake Allen at net. Jake Allen lost his job to Jordan Binnington. We all know the story. Jordan Binnington brought them to the promised land, got them Lord Stanley, and they haven't looked so great since then. Now Jake Allen's going to get his first start of the season in Ottawa. They're stupid favorites, as they should be. I'm not gonna bet against them. I'm not gonna bet with them. I lean Blues minus the 1.5 to win and cover the spread. I don't have a play in this. If you do have Ottawa, you're not crazy, because historically they seem to have a little minor rivalry. From my recollection, I might be wrong, but from my recollection, they might have a little minor rivalry going on between them where they both beat each other every time they see one another. So I'm not gonna give you a side, but like I like the Blues to cover tonight, the 1.5. So do we make it official? No, we don't make it official because I don't like Jake Allen at net. So we're gonna move on to the Washington Capitals versus the Nashville Predators. Now we got another 6.0 total over here. We got Holtby at net for the Capitals. We got Pecorine at net for the Predators. Now, I like the under in this game. The over actually hit in eight of the last 9 games that these guys played head to head. I don't like the over in this game. The world is on the over. The world is on Nashville because Nashville also beat the Predators almost every single chance they get. It's ridiculous. Every time they see each other, it's like they just have their number, and sometimes it's like that. Stylistically, you got teams who are better fit to match up against others. And me, I like the Capitals. I like Braden Holtby, but it's not about likes. I always say it. It's not about emotions. It's not about who you like. It's not about your favorite teams. It's about who is going to win the game, how you're going to make money, and how you're going to capitalize on the value in said game. So, with two solid goalies of this nature, I'm going to tell you something here. We got a 2.89 goal against average with Braden Holtby. We got a 2.00 goal against average going with Pecorine. Those two combined for 4.89. The total is at 6.0, 6.5 at other places. 4.89 between these two goalies does not add up to that. I know basic math, and if I have to add these two things up, I don't like the over here. So I'm gonna roll with the under in this Washington game. We got 3 unders going down this board. Fuck with me if you'd like. We're trying to cash today. We're trying to do better than we did yesterday. Now we're gonna move along to the Wild versus the Winnipeg Jets. Now a lot of people are not on the Wilds, and granted, like Zach Parise hasn't been doing what he's supposed to do. Devin Dubnyk allowed like 7 goals in his last few starts. It's not so much, but it's crazy. Like he doesn't look like the kind of guy he's supposed to be. But is it his fault? Are the defense doing what they got to do? Is it the fourth linesman's fault? Because a lot of these goals been happening on their shifts. Now I don't know the answer to all these questions. But do they? Does the Minnesota Wild know the answer to all these questions? I hope they do for their sake, because Devin Dubnyk been standing on his head trying to save these guys. He's been doing everything he can. They've been throwing every possible offense at him, and he's been doing his best. But he can't keep on winning games if they're not going to protect him. Now, do I have a pick in this game? I do not, because number one, I don't trust the Winnipeg Jets. Number two, they're not protecting Devin Dubnyk. So I would like to put the under in this game. I would love to. But I just can't. I can't roll with it. So what I'm gonna do in this game instead, I'm gonna give you guys the Minnesota Wild not to score more than 3 goals on Connor Hellebuyck. That's gonna be an official play. Minnesota Wild not to score more than 3 on the Winnipeg Jets. So we got 3 unders so far, and we got a team under, so them not to score 3 goals on the Winnipeg Jets. Moving on, we got the Sharks versus the Blackhawks. I'm skipping this game. Sorry, guys. I don't like Dell. Corey Crawford hasn't been good in 3 seasons. I'm skipping this game altogether. If you guys have a choice, go ahead, cap it on your own time, do whatever it is that you guys like to do. I'm staying away from that game because I like my money a little bit too much than to be investing it in stupidness like that. Moving on, we got Calgary versus Dallas Stars. Calgary Flames got Rittich between the pipes versus Ben Bishop. A lot of guys like Ben Bishop. Find Ben Bishop is mediocre. Maybe it's just because he has a name and everybody likes him. Um, Calgary's underdogs over here. They're 1-1-1 on the season, and Dallas is actually 1-3 on the season, which is not a very good start for either team. Ask me why the Calgary Flames are underdogs. I'll wait. I'd rather go with the Flames today. So I'm going to go with the Flames for the upset. And that's going to be an official play. So I'm going to give you the Flames at the money with Riddich between the pipes to win this game today. Money line, and we're gonna roll with that. Next, we got Halak, our friend Halak, for the Boston Bruins at the helm versus Grubauer for the Colorado Avalanche. Now, Boston can't possibly win every game, can they? I mean, at some point in time, they're gonna have to lose. I mean, aren't they like one of the highest? They have like most of like the most played games this season yet. We've only been active for what 8 games, 8 days, and Boston played damn near every single day. It seems like, right? They can't possibly win every game. I'm giving you Boston money line again today because they're gonna win again today. They're gonna win until they go back home, and that's just what it is. And that's all I gotta say about that. So, going on, we got the last game of the night is the Vegas Golden Knights against the Arizona Coyotes. Now, Malcolm Subban is expected versus Quamper, who is also expected to play. Note, that could also change from time to time. Right now, they're slated for a 10 o'clock start. I don't know who's going to do what. Subban hasn't played yet. Quamper actually lost 2 of his previous starts. Arizona, uh, here, let me give you a quick breakdown of how bad Arizona's been doing. So while Arizona hasn't been especially formidable, they're they've been doing pretty good. They've been doing pretty well at like gauging their opponents. So they've been doing a very good job at slowing the pace down. They're a fast-paced team. They're able to score goals, but they've been doing a very good job at like slowing the pace of the other team. So they lost to Boston in a 1-0 matchup. They lost to Anaheim in a 2-1 fashion. I like the under in this game. Vegas is not an especially great team on the road. They've been scoring a lot of goals. They scored 3 goals against Boston in a loss. They scored 5 goals against San Jose and 4 goals against San Jose. Granted, San Jose has been allowing all kind of goals. They allowed 5 goals in all their games, but we're not talking about we skipped San Jose because we don't want to fuck with them. So the Golden Knights, though, they're able to score. Malcolm Subban sometimes allows goals, if you guys remember from last year. He's also a very good goalie, but he allows a good bit of goals. Now, I think in this game, since since the Coyotes, and this is an interesting game, honestly, it's an interesting matchup. I don't think either of these two teams are especially great. Although the Vegas team is they've been impressive since their debut. But I don't think either of these teams are going to be scoring very much today. It might be evenly matched, so they might both score a lot, but I don't see it. I think the Coyotes are going to do a really good job of gauging their opponents again. I think they found the trick. I think they know how to protect their goalie. They're not going to be as bad as they were in the seasons past. So I'm going to go with the under in this game also. I know it seems like I'll have a lot of unders, like, so I'm going to go with the under in this game, and I'd like to go bold prediction and go with the Arizona Coyotes to finally get their first win. You know, I think I like that. And you know what? I'm going to give it to you. Yeah, I might as well. So we're going to go back down this board. So in the Detroit Montreal game, we got the under 6.5. And the Maple Leafs versus the Lightning, we don't have a pick, although I lean under. In the EDM versus Jersey, we don't have a pick. And the Pittsburgh Penguins versus Anaheim, I'm giving you guys the under in this game. St. Louis versus Ottawa, there's I'm gonna give you the Blues to cover that. So officially, I'll give you the Blues at the 1.5 versus Ottawa. The Washington Capitals versus the Nashville Predators, I'm giving you the under 6.5 in this game also. The Minnesota Wild versus the Winnipeg Jets, I'm gonna give you the Wild not to score 3 goals on Winnipeg today. We skipping completely over the Sharks game. I'm giving you the Calgary Flames money line. I'm giving you the Boston Bruins money line, and I'll give you 2 picks in the Arizona game, which is one, the Arizona Coyotes, not only to win but to keep the game under 5.5. So all those picks will be posted on my Twitter. You could go ahead and follow me at 514 Mystic on Twitter. You could also go and check me out on Snapchat. It's Mystic514. And again, go and check out the site. It's bookiebullies.com. Don't forget to smash that like button at the bottom. We also got some playoff WNBA. We got the Washington Mystics versus the Connecticut Suns. Going into it, these two teams facing head to head have gone over in every single game. This is the finale. After this, there will be no more basketball until the basketball season starts. Oh boy, the basketball season will start. And when basketball and hockey combines, we get very, very, very good results. Now, I'm going to go with an unorthodox pick here, and I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you to put the under in that WNBA game if you're into women's basketball. I just think that's just how it's going to go down. I couldn't give you a side. I lean Washington, but I couldn't give you a side. I'm going to tell you straight up that I think this game goes under as a defensive matchup to end the series. Um, I think both teams are going to clamp down on defense. Although we have the number three 3-point shooting team in the league and the number 4 3-point shooting team in the league, I think we're going to be clamping down on defense. If these girls are going to make shots, they're going to have to make contested ones today. And I think it goes under 175.5. If you could buy points anywhere, try to do so. Try to maybe, if you could get it down to 180, it'll be a good look. But I like the under 175 in this game. We also got some baseball. Now, if you guys are following, my baseball been horrible. I don't even want to give a pick here because I've been horrible. I've been horrid. I've been awful, god awful with baseball. You know, and no thanks to the Dodgers. So in this game, we got the Tampa Bay Devil Rays versus the Houston Astros, where we got Tyler Glasnow on the mound versus Garrett Cole. I don't have a play in this game. I think Astros are really trying to win, but I don't have a play in this game. I would lean Houston. I would lean Houston, um, but the money line is really not paying that much, and I don't trust any baseball teams right now because I've been losing so much. Uh, but don't let that scare you. You know what I mean? My failures are my failures. Other people's failures are their own. Don't let your failures disappoint you. Don't let your failures fool you into avoiding pricey picks or avoiding quality picks. This, to me, a minus 260 favored is not a very high valued pick. So I'm not scared to put my money here. I just would rather find value other places. I gave you guys a shit ton of picks in hockey today. I don't have to force a pick in the MLB playoffs, especially given the fact that the team that I would actually pick is paying such a little amount of money. So never let your failures fool you into saying, "Hey, well, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't make this pick, or maybe I shouldn't do that." If ever you doubt yourself, just don't do it. But for the most part, if you've done your research and you think it's going to be a solid, valuable pick and it's a calculated one, by all means do it. Like, you're not going to win every time. It's the nature of the beast. Sometimes you might have a ref, or in this case, you might have an umpire who decides that he wants things to go another way. These are also human beings. Sometimes people have money invested in it. Like, they won't tell you this, but a lot of times people have money invested in these games. They'll tell their friends, bet on this. I'm gonna be the ref for this game. Bet on that. I'm gonna try to gauge it. We see what's going on with all this stuff. We heard about all these. If you guys haven't heard, you better go and check yourself. You know what I mean? Because there's all kind of controversy. This is why we do what we do, because there's so much controversy which goes between making sports betting picks. There's a lot of money. There's millions and millions and millions of dollars in fluctuation right now, and I'll go over that in some of my future videos, which include like some of the in-play stuff that I have going on in the future, and all kind of other things. There's a lot of money fluctuating. It's a big market, the sports market. It's just like the stock market, except it's a lot more volatile. But that's it for me. Go ahead and smash that like button, share, subscribe. I've been your man, 514 Mystic. And again, I'll tell you, like I tell you every time, do not bet what you can't afford to lose. And that's it for me. Best of luck to all. I'll see you again tomorrow.